Hi everybody, welcome to week 2 of term 4. This is hopefully our last week of doing home learning. So next week we will be back in school. Yay! We're all very excited to have our classes back and to see you all. So one last week of home learning and you guys taking responsibility for this, and then we get to see you and be back together. Something to remind you quickly is that on Thursday there's no English, Maths and Enquiry lesson, but instead there's a poster included in your packs about World Book Day, which is on Thursday. There's reading what they're called, videos that the teachers have made where we've read either a whole book or a snippet of a book that you can listen to, so kind of like an audio book, I suppose. Some of us have shared the book, some of us have just written the text, some of us have just, you've got to look at us whilst we're reading. And also we're going to be doing a live session still, and in fancy dress if you fancy it. Don't go out and buy or spend lots of money, but think about what you could make. Try and be creative, a bit imaginative. Think about all the different book characters that there are. A lot of them just look like you and me, so you don't have to go too crazy, but maybe just try and show, give some little clues as to who your character is. Also, if you are going to do any chopping or painting or making of your costumes, then make sure you ask your adults first. I'm excited to see your fancy dress. Albie and I will be joining you in the live session, so I'm really excited. Right then, today I'm only sharing a quick bit with you, and then you've got an activity to get on with. This week we're doing a bit more learning about the Romans. We've got lots of activities to do when we get back to school. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. I have to say that, otherwise I forget to do it. So desktop, dun dun dun. I can't see how to find anything. Here we go. There we go. Right then, so this is the sheet that you need for today. I'll keep that there. And a PowerPoint I have for you. I have also shared in the pack this week a like kind of help sheet about the Romans. It's got a bit more of a timeline in it. It's got some key words in there. You had one for plants and I think about teeth or digestion as well. Just thought they were helpful. You could stick them in your books if you wanted to. If we were in school, we'd probably have one per table, but at home I've given you one each just for your own learning. So the main task is basically sorting events and putting them into chronological order. Now, chronological means in time order. So if you were doing a chronological report about, or a chronological timeline of your day, you would start with maybe waking up, having breakfast, doing your teeth, going to school wouldn't come before waking up. That doesn't make sense. So it's about either looking at times of day or days of the week or months or years. So it's putting things in the order that they happened. So these ones, I've jumbled them all up, but they come in a pack like that. So it's a picture and then next to it is some information. Those two come together. So you would cut them out, a bit like a domino. You would cut that out. So you cut them out in their pairs, and then you'll sort them all into their order and then put them back in. But you can see each one has some information about it. The picture is to do with which group of people. Was it the Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings, or the Normans? That's what I mean, isn't it? We don't get to learn about all of them. It's just the Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, but it's just to give you a bit more background information, basically. So today's PowerPoint, I'm literally just going to show you it. I'm not really going to talk about it. This is just a quick PowerPoint I found. I spent ages trying to find a useful timeline that I thought would just give you a bit more information, but not too much, but it was hard. So this PowerPoint is literally just some British history in order. So Mesozoic era, sorry, got my words right. Very long time ago, 250 million years ago. Stone Age, 15,000 BC to 2,500 BC. Bronze Age, 3000 BC to 800 BC. Now you will notice that some of them will overlap because it was happening at the same time. Iron Age, 800 BC to AD 43. The Celts, also 800 BC to AD 43. The Romans came to Britain in 43 AD, which is what we learnt about last Friday. Some of the Celts were still there at the same time as the Romans. Some of them will have fought them, some of them will have worked with them, worked for them, etc. So until AD 410. So now from then there was a few years where there was no Romans and there was no Anglo-Saxons, so just the Britons lived here. Then 449 to 1066, the Anglo-Saxons were here. But at the same time, some of the same time, you also had other groups, such as the Vikings, who were here from 793 until 1066. 793. Then the Normans came in 1066 until 1154. Then it became the Middle Ages. That was the next era until 1485. Then the Tudors. Again, the Tudors were a group of people who were the king and queens and things. So they were kind of a family. And so they became known as the Tudors, Tudor times. There was then a civil war and revolution, 1603 to 1714. There was during that same time, there was the Great Plague of London. That's just like a major thing that happened. There was the Great Fire of London the following year. The Georgians from 1714 to 1830. Empire and sea power. This is when we had a big navy and they were going out to sea, and the empire was people from Britain were going to other countries, kind of invading really. Although it's not always looked at that way, but really they were just invading other countries. The Industrial Revolution from 1760 to 1820 approximately. There was the Victorians. You can see also how the clothing changes, how the people look like changes. This is Queen Victoria. So she was queen at the time. She was queen for 64 years. From 1837 till 1901. So the key dates would be World War I and World War II. I think you learned about those in Year 5. Then modern Britain. So that was a very quick flying visit to some of Britain's history, but it was just to kind of show you some things that have happened. You might have heard of different things about it, but the Romans and Anglo-Saxons fit in the middle here. So we are focusing on the Romans. It's not moving, I don't know why. Anglo-Saxons. Some of the things you've got from today will also be the Vikings and the Normans. So that already shows you a little bit about the order that you'll need. So hopefully that will have helped you. And then this is the sheet that you need to cut apart and put into order. But remember to keep the picture and the writing that's next to it together. That is one kind of like domino piece, I would say. Okay, that's everything from me for today. But you need to go off and do your task. Now, I did write on your sheet that for any further learning you could do is you could further research your timeline. You could add some more information to it about it. There's also a video link to a YouTube video, which again is just kind of an animated version of some of the things that I just went over. It doesn't go back as far, but it does show you the different regions of where the Anglo-Saxons took over. It talks a little bit about the Romans and the Scots and the Celts. So it just gives you some more information. So I just thought it was quite interesting. That's everything from me for today. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.